Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Big Chief Studios Ultra-stylized 10th Doctor Dynamix figure. A figure that, seemingly felt like it took 2 years to come out. It definitely has been over a year, but I feel like it's been 2 years since I first saw, a picture of this. So let's see if this was, worth the wait. I ordered this at Corner Store Comics. I did not order it directly from Big Chief, but Corner Store had an awesome price on it, especially for someone like me in the US. And the packaging for this is awesome. The concept of a TARDIS box is just a rad idea. So here's a closer look at the packaging with these doors, kind of created at an angle, almost as if, Tennant is standing there in his classic pose, almost inviting you into the TARDIS, if you will. I like that they used the police box section to create new wording in the same font. And if you're interested in what the back of the box says, we'll give you a little close-up and you can read away. You can pause if you want and see what all that says. I like that it includes this original art that the figure is supposed to emulate. And you can see the inside of the TARDIS, behind him there. I like that the top of the box features artwork of the top of the TARDIS. And in case you were curious, here's that artwork. And it also comes with a little figure stand, so that's cool. Now we'll take a look at the figure itself. There are plenty of toy companies out there doing stylized figures of licenses, but I remember seeing this figure oh so many years ago and being just struck by how dynamic the art direction and the design behind this figure was. I thought it had great angles and great lines, and it had a really cool style and a really dynamic pose. And I think that this figure, seeing it in person years later, and yeah, I'm being dramatic about years, but it does feel like it's been forever. Seeing it in person, it exceeded my expectations considerably. Actually, I'm really happy with how it turned out. One of the things that exceeded my expectations was the paint. I know Big Chief primarily is a 1/6 scale company, so I've never really seen their approach to a vinyl figure or any kind of plastic painted figure, and I think the lines on his suit turned out great. But what's really cool about this, what really kind of put my expectations, blew them out of the water, was the shading on the coat. There is shading within the folds of this coat, and I mean, first of all, the sculpting's great. The sculpting's awesome, and I always appreciate a good sculpt. But what I appreciate is when you can highlight that sculpt with just a little shading. Kotobukiya is phenomenal at this, and I was not expecting Big Chief to kind of rise to what I consider to be the Kotobukiya level of shading on a plastic figure. That to me just highlights everything that's awesome about the sculpt of this coat, and I think that to me just makes this figure. Not only does it make the figure, another thing that's pretty awesome, is the little face sculpt we have here, this kind of stylized impression of David Tennant that I think they did just a great job with. So here's a close-up look at this sort of cartoony impression of David Tennant, and I mean, first of all, they did a good job with his cheekbones, but I mean, they captured his smirk. This sort of animated style of his mouth and eyebrows look great. This sculpt has a lot of personality to it, a lot of David Tennant, 10th Doctor kind of personality, which you would hope they would get right, and I'm just happy to say that they did. And I like that it plays out good from different angles. But man, does he got a lot of personality. And the quality of the sculpting of his hair, they did a good job within this cartoony style of capturing his modern sort of hair, all sticky-uppy. It certainly almost looks like an anime character. But what this does is it makes me wish there was a Doctor Who animated series, because this would be an awesome design for it. One of the things I like about Big Chief is how much they listen to and interact with their fans, and I guess as sort of a consolation for this figure taking a while to come out, they included a second head that comes with David Tennant wearing his glasses, and that's something that as a company they didn't need to do, but they did it, and I think that's awesome they included that. A lot of fans like the 10th Doctor wearing his glasses, and the fact they included that for within the same price that you were originally paying for, it just makes them an awesome company, and it's a little detail like that that makes the figure even cooler and the company even cooler. Another cool little feature, the base has a magnet in it, and the feet, even though you don't see the magnets, just like Kotobukiya style, the base attaches magnetically. So that's a really cool little feature. Hopefully, you know, if you live in an earthquake county, this might help the figure from falling over during an earthquake session, but I like that it's not bound by any hole and peg, and that it's not permanently attached either. So yeah, in case you can't tell by my review already, I really like this figure. My favorite thing about it, I think, is the sculpting. Like, even just the way the coat swoops right underneath his armpit there. I love the hard lines of the wrinkles along his sleeve. I think the lines on this, just the way his suit kind of drapes from where his hands are in the pocket, all these little like hard angled lines along his pants. The sculpting on this is just great. The paint on it's great too. I love the swoop of the coat. I mean, it's such a, again, I know it's called Dynamix, but it's such a dynamic kind of pose. I think, you know, Big Chief did a great job of this figure. And I like that, you know, people complain about like the Amy Pond head on the 1/6 figure. They're like, great, buy it and we'll mail you a better free one. People complain about waiting for this figure for so long. They're like, great, we'll include an alternate head for you. They're an awesome company that so far has been doing some awesome work. And I think the paint and the sculpt and the style on this are just great. Now there's also an alternate limited edition one where the suit is it's a different colored suit, but I personally like the blue suit against the brown coat, so I'm really happy that I got this figure. Thanks for watching.